Project management principles, a structured foundation for delivering unique value through temporary endeavors. A core framework for stakeholder alignment, resource optimization, and lifecycle integration. Project management isn't just about ticking off tasks on a to-do list. It's a disciplined approach to turning ideas into outcomes. Whether you're designing software, building infrastructure, or launching a new product, project management gives you the structure to guide it from concept to completion. So what exactly is a project? At its core, a project is a temporary effort created to deliver something unique, a product, service, or result. Think about it like this. Operations are your day-to-day business, but projects are the special missions that drive change or innovation. For example, building a wastewater treatment plant, that's a project. Creating a mobile app for your startup, also a project. Running a public health awareness campaign, you guessed it, still a project. Projects have a clear start and end, specific objectives and outputs, distinct outcomes, even if they look similar on the surface. Temporary doesn't mean short. Temporary can be a bit misleading. Some projects take a few weeks. Others, like designing an aircraft or developing a new pharmaceutical drug, can stretch over years. What makes them projects is that they're finite. They end when the goals are achieved or when it becomes clear the goals won't be met. Importantly, while the project is temporary, the result often isn't. A national monument, for instance, may be created through a multi-year project, but the monument itself is intended to last for centuries. Unique doesn't mean inexperienced. Yes, projects are unique, but that doesn't mean you're always starting from scratch. Often, they include repeatable elements, a standard testing protocol, familiar design practices, or recurring team structures. Still, no two combinations of stakeholders, objectives, and environments are identical. Project management is all about applying skills, tools, and structured techniques to meet the needs and expectations of stakeholders. But here's the trick. It's always a balancing act. You're juggling scope, time, cost, quality. At the same time, you're managing the expectations of your client or customer, the sponsor, team members, and often the public or regulators. It's not just about the plan, it's about the framework. Project management brings everything together. It connects strategic business goals with real-world outcomes. In the PMBOK approach, we talk about it through two lenses. One, the project management framework, understanding terms, the environment, and key interactions. Two, the project management knowledge areas. These are the disciplines like time management, scope management, and risk management that structure how you manage your work. Why it matters. When done right, project management aligns everyone toward a common goal, keeps resources optimized, time, money, people, reduces risk by making problems visible early, improves communication through structure and clarity, boosts success rates by introducing repeatable, scalable methods. Wrapping up, projects are everywhere, and knowing how to manage them well is a key professional skill. Whether you're in construction, software, pharmaceuticals, or event planning, the principles of project management give you the map and the compass to navigate complex, high-stakes work. And as you'll see in upcoming sections, from integration and scope to risk and procurement, it's not just about doing things right. It's about doing the right things in the right way at the right time. Project environment, understanding the context that shapes every project. Adapting strategy, structure, and culture to navigate complexity and influence success. Every project operates within an environment, like a ship sailing through weather, currents, and tides. These factors may not be under your direct control, but they influence how your project moves forward. Chapter 2 explores the project environment, both internal, within the organization, and external, the broader world, and why understanding this context is essential to managing any project effectively. The big picture. Why environment matters. Project managers don't work in a vacuum. Decisions, risks, and even communication styles are shaped by the environment surrounding the project. The better you understand these influencing forces, the better equipped you are to plan, adapt, and deliver value. We can think of the environment in two main layers: enterprise environmental factors, EEFs, mostly external influences, organizational process assets, OPAs, mostly internal resources and guidelines. Enterprise environmental factors, EEFs, what's happening around you. These are the conditions, often outside your control, that impact the project either positively or negatively. They include external EEFs, market conditions. Are materials expensive right now? Is there a labor shortage? Legal regulations, compliance with building codes, labor laws, environmental standards. Cultural influences. In international projects, norms around time, hierarchy, and communication may differ. Governmental factors, taxation, political stability, permits, etc. Technology trends, innovations that affect how your product is made or delivered. Internal EEFs, organizational structure, functional, matrix, or projectized. This changes how teams collaborate and make decisions. Available resources, people, funding, tools, facilities. Internal political climate, power dynamics, leadership support, and cross-departmental relationships. Infrastructure, IT systems, communication tools, project software. While you may not control EEFs, you can plan for them, and good project managers know how to adjust their strategies in response. Organizational process assets, OPAs. What's in your toolbox? Unlike EEFs, these are internal knowledge bases, processes, and assets that project teams can use to their advantage. Think of OPAs as the playbooks, templates, and archives from past projects that help you avoid reinventing the wheel. They include templates and procedures, standard contract formats, structures, risk checklists, historical data and lessons learned, what went wrong or right in past projects, knowledge repositories, databases, document management systems, prior project files, guidelines and policies, procurement rules, quality procedures, approval workflows. These assets increase consistency, reduce effort, and help institutionalize best practices. Organizational systems. Who does what and how? Organizations structure themselves in different ways, and that structure shapes how projects are governed, staffed, and supported. Here's how the structure influences your authority as a project manager. Functional organization projects live within departments. The project manager has limited authority and acts more like a coordinator. Projectized organization projects are king. The project manager has full authority and control over resources. Matrix organization. A hybrid model. Team members report to both functional and project managers. This could be weak matrix. Functional managers dominate. Balanced matrix, shared authority. Strong matrix, project manager leads. Choosing how to organize a project team affects communication paths, decision speed, and resource availability. Governance and stakeholder influence. Governance isn't just about compliance. It defines how decisions get made. A well-governed project has clear roles and responsibilities, reporting relationships, escalation paths. You also need to understand the stakeholder ecosystem, sponsors, users, regulators, and anyone who can influence the outcome. A change in one stakeholder's priorities can alter the direction of the whole project. Systems thinking. Seeing the connections, projects don't happen in isolation. They interact with portfolios, programs, and other projects. Systems thinking encourages you to look at interdependencies, cross-functional risks, shared resources. This mindset helps avoid the silo trap and ensures your project fits smoothly within the broader organizational strategy. Tailoring the approach. No two projects are alike. The PMBOK emphasizes tailoring, customizing the project management approach based on project complexity, stakeholder engagement, risk level, industry norms. The right balance between standardization and flexibility leads to better outcomes. Summary. The project environment is your landscape. Some elements offer support, like reusable templates and historical data, while others present challenges, like economic shifts or political changes. Recognizing and navigating these forces, both internal and external, helps project managers lead with clarity, resilience, and strategic alignment. In the chapters to follow, we'll dive deeper into how this environment connects with the formal processes, knowledge areas, and performance domains that shape successful project delivery. Project integration management, unifying strategy, execution, and outcomes across the project lifecycle. The discipline of connecting the dots, coordinating scope, time, cost, and stakeholders for cohesive delivery. Project integration management is like the conductor of a symphony. It doesn't play the instruments, but it ensures every section works in harmony. While other knowledge areas deal with specific aspects like time, cost, or risk, integration management ensures that all these pieces come together to form a coherent whole. What is project integration management? It refers to the processes and activities needed to identify, define, combine, unify, and coordinate various project elements, align deliverables with organizational strategy, balance competing objectives and constraints, manage trade-offs between scope, schedule, cost, quality, and resources. In essence, it's the glue that holds all parts of the project together. Why is it so critical? Projects are dynamic and multidimensional. You'll frequently face situations where you must choose between fast-tracking versus maintaining budget, adapt to changes in stakeholder requirements mid-execution, balance innovation with regulatory compliance. Integration ensures decisions are made with a full understanding of how changes in one area ripple through the rest. Core components of integration management. Let's explore the key processes that make up project integration management. These typically span the full life cycle of a project, from initiation through closing. 1. Develop project charter. Creating the official birth certificate of the project. Formally authorizes the existence of a project. Identifies the project manager, sponsor, and key stakeholders. Establishes high-level scope, objectives, and alignment with business goals. Gives the project manager authority to use organizational resources. Key inputs: business case, benefits management plan, output, approved project charter. 2. Develop project management plan. Your blueprint for execution, monitoring, and control. Consolidates all subsidiary plans, scope, schedule, cost, quality, etc. into one master document. Serves as the guiding document for the entire project. Must be tailored to the project's complexity and requirements. Subsidiary plans include scope management plan, schedule management plan, cost management plan, risk management plan, communications plan, and more. Output: integrated project management plan. 3. Direct and manage project work. Turning plans into action. Performs the actual work to produce project deliverables. Manages people, resources, and timelines. Involves issuing work authorizations, updating plans, and resolving issues. Includes managing change requests, coordinating deliverables across teams, ensuring quality is maintained during execution. 4. Manage project knowledge. Leveraging past wisdom while creating new insights. Focuses on knowledge transfer from past projects and into future ones. Balances explicit knowledge, documents, reports, and tacit knowledge, experience, insight. Promotes continuous learning and documentation of lessons learned. Goal: avoid repeating mistakes and maximize organizational learning. 5. Monitor and control project work. Keeping your finger on the project's pulse. Tracks, reviews, and reports performance against the plan. Supports proactive issue detection and decision-making. Uses tools like variance analysis, forecasting, and trend analysis. Includes performance reviews, progress reporting, risk reassessment. 6. Perform integrated change control. Managing change without losing control. Evaluates all change requests, scope, time, cost, risk, quality. Assesses their impact and determines approval paths. Ensures only beneficial, controlled changes are implemented. Change Control Board (CCB) may be used for formal evaluation. 7. Close project or phase, bringing formal closure with knowledge transfer. Finalizes all activities and closes out contracts. Confirms that deliverables have been accepted. Documents lessons learned and releases project resources. Key outputs: final report, archive documentation, closure of procurement and legal matters. Integration across the lifecycle. Integration is not a one-time activity. It evolves across the phases: initiation, strategic alignment and authorization, planning, synchronizing goals and actions, execution, coordinated delivery across disciplines, monitoring, holistic view of performance, closing, smooth handoff and reflection. Common integration challenges: conflicting stakeholder interests, scope creep without clear approvals, teams working in silos, especially in matrix organizations, poor communication across functional areas, incomplete knowledge transfer between project phases. Summary: project integration management is where the strategic intent of the project is transformed into structured action and measurable outcomes. It ensures nothing is developed in isolation, and all project components are woven into a cohesive delivery fabric. When done well, integration management doesn't just keep the project running, it keeps it relevant, efficient, and aligned with business value. It's where project thinking meets systems thinking, and where decisions shape not just deliverables, but impact. Project scope management, defining, controlling, and delivering exactly what's required. The discipline of drawing boundaries, clarifying objectives, avoiding scope creep, and achieving stakeholder satisfaction. Project scope management is where clarity meets control. It ensures the project delivers only what's needed, nothing more, nothing less. Without it, projects spiral out of control, chasing moving targets, blowing budgets, and missing deadlines. Scope management helps teams align on what's included, what's excluded, and how to verify the work is complete. What is project scope? At its most basic, scope refers to all the work required to deliver a product, service, or result that meets the project's objectives. But scope has two distinct flavors. Product scope, the features and functions of the product or deliverable itself, e.g. a bridge, a software module. Project scope, the work needed to deliver that product, e.g. engineering, coding, testing, installation. Both must be clearly defined and managed together. Why scope management matters. Scope is where expectations meet execution. If the scope is vague or poorly controlled, teams waste effort on non-essential work. Stakeholders feel misled or disappointed. Budgets and schedules unravel. With clear scope management, projects stay focused on defined objectives. Avoid gold plating, adding extras that weren't asked for. Prevent scope creep, the silent killer of budgets and timelines. Core processes of scope management. Project scope management includes 6 key processes spanning from planning to monitoring. 1. Planned scope management. Defining how the scope will be defined, validated, and controlled. This process creates the scope management plan, a foundational document that outlines how scope will be developed and maintained, who approves scope statements, how changes to scope will be handled. Why it matters. It sets the rules of the game before work begins. 2. Collect requirements. Digging deep into what stakeholders truly need and expect. Engages stakeholders to uncover functional needs, technical specifications, compliance and usability expectations. Techniques used: interviews, surveys and questionnaires, focus groups, prototypes and wireframes. Observation, job shadowing. Output, a detailed requirements documentation and requirements traceability matrix, linking each requirement to project objectives. 3. Define scope, turning stakeholder needs into a clear, agreed-upon boundary. Translates requirements into a project scope statement that defines in-scope work and deliverables, out-of-scope items, what's excluded, assumptions and constraints. Why it matters. This statement is the official contract for scope. It anchors expectations. Pasha 4. Create work breakdown structure, WBS, breaking the scope into manageable pieces. The WBS is a hierarchical decomposition of the total scope. Top level, major deliverables. Mid-level equals sub-deliverables. Lowest levels, work packages. Units of work you can estimate, assign, and track. Benefits: improves clarity and accountability, enables accurate scheduling and cost estimation, forms the backbone of project control. Output: scope baseline equals scope statement, WBS plus WBS dictionary. Shot 5. Validates scope. Getting formal approval for completed deliverables involves the customer or sponsor reviewing completed work to confirm it meets requirements. Usually happens at key milestones or phase gates. Can result in formal acceptance, requests for changes, rework orders. Why it matters. It reduces the risk of surprises at project close. Control scope. Managing changes and staying within boundaries. Tracks scope status throughout the project. Ensures only approved changes are implemented. Evaluates scope change requests using integrated change control. Tools used: variance analysis, change logs, performance measurement, e.g. earned value. Goal: keep the project aligned with the original scope baseline or update it through proper channels when needed. Common scope management pitfalls: lack of stakeholder involvement during requirement gathering, vague deliverables without measurable acceptance criteria, scope creep from undocumented requests or just one more feature, skipping WBS creation, leading to confusion and duplicate work. Summary: project scope management is where ideas get crystallized into action. It ensures that every task completed ties back to an approved requirement and that the team doesn't wander off course chasing unvalidated goals. It's not about saying no to change. It's about saying yes the right way. with awareness, approval, and alignment. When scope is clearly defined, broken down, and tightly controlled, the project can deliver real value on purpose, on time, and on point.